Welcome, everyone. It is great to have you all here tonight for our return to Endara. It's exciting. I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
No. I hate being here and I hate all of you.
Well, at least Hadrian's in the right mood. Uh,
My feelings are hurt.
so,
You can't tell with Magna.
welcome, everyone, to tonight's episode of Andromeda Adventures, hosted by all of us here at Andromeda Adventures. Before we get started for the campaign today, I would like to take a brief moment and say, at Andromeda Adventures, we are starting a new campaign. It is going live this Monday for our Session 0, if we can get enough players. If not, we'll wait till the next following Monday. So if you're watching and you're excited to get into a game, come check it out. It is going to be a amazing dark fantasy world inspired by Elden Ring and Dark Souls called Fading Embers. I am posting the link to the chat now. For those of you who are interested, please come check it out, sign up, join in right away. You'll get it. We'll get you into the Discord and get your character set up. Nick's going to be playing in it. We've got Kovac playing in it, and some of the others around just the server of Andromeda Adventures. Some of the other wonderful players that we have. It's going to be fun. It's exciting. It's been a big project in the works. I'm so excited to announce that it's finally launching.
And I will say to all of you viewers out there, I cannot count the number of times that I told Crossy, it's ready. It's ready. You put so much work into it. It's ready. Like, it is mind-boggling to me how much work is gone into this. It'll be amazing. Like, just put that out there.
With that, those of you who are watching our Aliens stream, those videos will be up as soon as they've been edited and sort of compiled together and looking nice, not necessarily in one video. But once we get all the production stuff done, and they'll be available on YouTube. So check out our Act 1 of Aliens Destroyer of Worlds on YouTube. And you can catch up on all of our past episodes on YouTube as well at Andromeda Adventures.
You can catch them as podcasts now at your famous.
That's right.
Your favorite podcasting site.
Just look up Andromeda Adventures and you'll find us there. We're everywhere you want to be. No, the wrong thing.
And many places you don't want us to be.
That true. That that just sounds like every D&D game. Yeah, it just follows you around. Other than that, Kovac won't be joining us tonight, but he should be back soon. And I think with that, James, cue that intro.
Yeah.
So last we left off in Andromeda Adventures, you know, the last thing that was going on was you guys. I remember a bit of a dwarf and the big tall guy, you know, kind of brooding fellow. They were walking around town asking all sorts of funny questions about yours truly. And me and my boys, well, we decided to show up and have a bit of a talk with them. And they seemed like nice fellas. We didn't have to get too rough with them, but turns out they're after a ring and we're after a ring. And it's just been a big mess. But we came to some arrangements. They were going to call off the gods. We were going to talk. And mostly it looks like these guys are just, you know, Hadrian, Magna, Westora, Addis, and Goth. They're just looking to stop some big head honcho scary guy from getting the ring, which is all good with me because it turns out that, you know, my guys, we're just hired to keep the ring away from someone else anyway. So it's all going to work out for the best. Now, they decided that after their big shenanigans around town that they were going to come down and try and have a sit down with yours truly, and came to the bar, and there was this whole gambling thing going on. There was a couple of crazy guys, but what do you know? These crazy fellas decide to start a bar fight, and the whole place exploded, gets us all kicked out. Yeah. I know they were with you, Hadrian. I know they were with you. So, you know, me and the boys, we had to skedaddle and get out of town, and we're floating around a little bit. Meanwhile, the rest of them headed back to this little Chateau Breton, you know, little fancy pants, to decide what to do with things.
May I correct the voice of Cha-Cha Chetney from above? There is at least one girl in your crew. Stop being a sexist asshole, you bastard. That's it.
You know, you're right. Trigani's got her eyes on the new fella, and well, let's just say he's in for a bit of a rude awakening when Kupo Kopo finds out. And with that, we're gonna pick up as you guys return to the home after the bar fight, having gotten thrown out, scattered.
I feel like Hadrian is. I'm walking back.
I'm rather frustrated at the overall situation.
Hadrian walks back in like not. He wasn't partaking in the bar fight, but the second the fist started getting turned, he's like, "Hey, no, stop! We're here to no, we're here for peace." And he's like clocked somebody in the face, and he's just got like blood and ale all over him. And he's okay. Well, there's sort of like that comic, like, well, that could have gone better. The second I get into the chateau. I will say I did go on a walk with Trigani afterwards, and while I'm pretty sure she was trying to lure me down an alleyway to murder me and eat me, she did seem to give me zero useful information. All she knows is there's a shiny thing they're trying to steal, and it sounds like fun.
That's all we need to know, isn't it?
Well, I think we'd still quite like to know who they're stealing it for.
Yeah, that's sort of the. I mean, yeah, I agree with both of you actually. Technically, we only need to know about the shiny thing being stolen, but knowing who it's for would be nice. She did say she would see me around. I will be reinforcing my windows just in case. But maybe they'll find us and we can actually ask in a more civil and sort of my only plan now. What about the rest of you? What do you think? Oh, Restora! How was dinner with Jill?
Oh, it was.
I was like gonna.
Oh, it was quite lovely. It was a very lovely meal. Had a particularly strange but polite guest, who is also a power-hungry megalomaniac. So pretty much it was like, normal.
He invited you to the club.
Well,
Did you get that guest's name?
Aliana Sanchez.
Sure.
Hadrian will just like spurt out Aliana Sanchez, like
Sanchez.
as if he just like Sanchez. Whatever, it's close enough.
Like I said, I couldn't remember any of it. I just know that he was involved in the ritual as well. I mean, it was very, very strange. A lot of discussion about, trying to like stop Jill and all that kind of stuff. So
you had a discussion with Jill about trying to stop Jill.
not Jill, Godric. Sorry.
Okay, because I was gonna say I kind of
that would have been a really interesting conversation. I really should stop myself.
We should role play that. Again,
You had a little too much wine.
That's right.
It's gone to your head a little bit.
I have been working on my Jill impression, as I have said so. Restora, how would you plan to stop me from my grand designs? No, I'm kidding. Anyway.
Well, so what is our next move here?
Find out who the gnomes are working for. If they're a person who seems amenable, try and set up a meeting with them. I know it was also mentioned that there's some Jill's nephew or something is setting up for the party. I don't know his relation to the rest of the royal family, but maybe we should go try and find this person, see if like there could be an inn, or if we could set up the party to, I don't know, have anti-apocalyptic primordial entity punch bowls.
Anything that doesn't end the way that last vision ended would be a step up.
Right.
It'd be preferable.
I mean,
maybe we just don't go to the party.
Restora.
Well, that's a good idea, actually. Hold on. That's a good idea.
I was joking.
I was also first of all, I've already bought the outfit. Second of all, well, no, same old guy. Why shouldn't we?
Why would we?
Well, I mean, we don't actually know that us not going to the party would stop Godric. All we know is that it might prevent us from dying, but then we die anyway when Godric destroyed the world. So, yes.
So we die there or die later.
Well, no. I mean, part of the thing is trying to figure out, you know, what to do to,
Not die.
right, which might be a third option that we
And-
haven't figured out yet.
And not have the world die. See, that's the problem, Garth, with the destruction of the world, is that I don't know if you realize this, but we are in the world, right? We are still here.
Right.
So if the world goes away, so
Barry looks up from the keg of ale like, what?
I know, Barry. I know you're a bear. You're a great bear. It's okay. Have a scotch. Anyway,
Starts licking the scotch.
and a few more years maybe, but okay. Far be it from me to put any faith or trust in the gods or their messengers. Actually, I was just going to say after that, but also the person who is a messenger of fate is telling us that we are able to stop Godric, but I realize now that that kind of sounds dumb after what I just said, because she could be lying. I retract my statement. Oh, one more bit though. She is from Ishgard. She's a clockwork person, and I do trust them.
Right. Well, good. I mean, and also, yes, not turn up to party with Ring. We've got that sorted. I don't think we necessarily have to trust her beyond that.
Right.
So finding this this fella who's organising the party, that seems important.
Yeah, the Bloom Theater he was at.
And finding the gnomes. Now,
Well, I feel like the gnomes will find us.
you're probably right on that.
I
At least
will.
one in particular, from what I observed, will find you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. So what we'll do, I think, I propose this: we go to the Bloom Theater, and I will wear something a little revealing, and just hope that that attracts.
You hear that faint sort of squeaking of something as you look over and just see a little heart has been scratched into the window.
Okay.
Friend of yours?
Well, that didn't take long.
Again, you can see he's like there's actual fear in Adrian's eyes. He's talking about fighting Godric like with all the not bravado, but like the determination. He's like he it sort of falter for a second. Yeah, so I'm gonna put on my best looking outfit. And remove some pieces from it so that it's more revealing, and we will go to the Bloom Theater and try to kill two birds with one stone. We should establish a safe word though, because I think I might need one. What's a good safe word?
I don't know. I have not needed one before.
Well, what is
Inside check.
What is the point of a safe word?
That if I'm in a bad place, but I can't tell the person I'm with, hey, I'm scared of you, I need my friends to rescue me, I can say something inane and you all can make an excuse to get me away from her.
Okay.
12. Okay, yeah, Wistora does not know what a safe word is. Has never needed a safe word.
Well, I've suddenly been struck with the inspiration that the safe word should be swordfish.
Okay, the safe word is swordfish. Because that could never be mistaken for a euphemism in any way whatsoever, and I love it in every way.
But why swordfish?
It just came to me out of
Why
thin
not?
ether. I don't
It's
know
better.
why.
It's better than shock bait. I say, looking directly at Garth.
That is true. It's not fun being shark bait.
No, it's not.
Actually, it just kind of rather sucks.
So okay, let's have two safe words. So, swordfish or monkey bottoms. I can work either of those into a conversation.
You can work both of those into a conversation.
then things are really in trouble. If he like says them back to back.
Both of them, yeah. If he says both of them, maybe get him the
Yeah,
hell out.
if I say the swordfish is aiming for the monkey bottoms, you know that everything is going to hell. That means Godric is here. The world is already ending.
I'll just go outside and throw myself on a spike and save some time.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. Okay. So joking aside, the safe words are swordfish and monkey bottoms, and we're going to the Bloom Theater to try and find Jill's nephew. Hope he's not as crazy as Jill. Hope he might be able to get us closer to the people planning the party, maybe even someone who knows the queen. I know, and then also try and find the gnomes and see about this third party person. So try to prepare for the party, try to prepare for the ring at the same time.
Yes. It'd be interesting to see what kind of a party planner he is, like whether he's working out the seating arrangements or if he's working out sort of battle preparedness. I guess if you're preparing a party for the queen, you have to do a bit of both.
I unfortunately, given that he's at the Bloom Theater all the time, and nothing against the theatrical, but my guess is it's going to be the first, not the second.
Well, maybe he knows who's responsible for the latter.
We could certainly ask. Unfortunately, I have a sneaking suspicion it will be Jill DeRay.
You know, I'm really hoping not. But let's find out.
That you guys settle in, take
Wait,
your long rest,
I was gonna say, before we do,
and
can I-
recover. Just want to take a brief moment to thank the Azig
that was
for
hilarious.
that wonderful commentary that almost broke the GM.
I was actually going to say something about Magnar needs to deal with lighting because he knows that his like no matter what he casts, the lights won't hurt anybody. Magnar, eventually though, you are going to crit on the first hit, and you're going to kill a big
You
bad.
did hit a
Be
door.
amazing. No, he missed.
Oh, it got
Oh, you got you were on that one. It hit.
I lost me
Technically,
mace.
hit it. It hit it technically because it got stuck.
To be fair, it was a very tough door.
It was a very tough door.
It was very.
Took me 2 turns.
You didn't know this, but it was really high CR.
Yeah,
Like
it
it's
took me 2
insanely
turns to
high
get off.
CR.
it was like a CR 0.3 door. Which, you know, it is
Well,
impressive
which is
for
relatively high for a door.
for a door. That's
Yeah.
that's like epic tier door.
Just move it to 2 guys and
before my self-esteem disappears into the basement.
All right, so you guys get your long rest.
Adrian is keeping close watch on the window.
It's by uneventful. There's a light bit of storm misting and everything like that. And Andrea, as you kind of doze off, you briefly, just in the light out the window, just see the panda face staring at you through the window, and you kind of blink and sit up. It's gone.
It's the dream. Just a dream. There's no such thing as a red panda. It's a terrifying monster from Ishgardian legends. I'm gonna sleep.
The night finds all of you at ease. Astora, your little bit of a buzz from the wine wears off.
Yeah. So
Magnar,
everyone.
at night, you have strange nightmares. Things you haven't thought about for a long time. Time as a priest, all of the daily rituals, the repetitiveness. And you've been so focused on trying to figure out when anything could have happened to you. You know, supposedly the Fated are supposed to die, and you've been racking your brain and kind of burying everything. And something about those rituals, the intricacies that you were supposed to do. And as you hear a large, thunderous boom, kind of opening your eyes, find yourself back in the dwarven mines of Cormont. And a faint trenchcoat billowing past the entrance, speaking to some of the other elders. It's disjointed, hard to tell. You recognize some of the language, but it's always just been that stuff in the books, not really what you were paying attention to. You catch a few words. relic, repair, and you see the bag of platinum set down on one of the stone tables. And the priest coming over and lecturing you. You begin to remember why you didn't want to remember this night. Before you can really confront and see that itch at the back of your mind, that shadow come out of the silhouette into the light, you're unfortunately woken up by the sound of knocking at the door.
What? Hey, hello? Who's there?
It's just echoing through the chamber. All of you have gotten up. Magnar slept a bit in this morning.
Huh.
Garth, you and Barry are sprawled out across the two beds. You've managed to push the two beds together into one and just kind of sprawled out and different. It kind of mushed all the cushions into a bit of a fort.
Could we attempt to make bunk beds?
You could certainly try.
Barry's on top, though. I just have
Yeah,
to say, like,
of
if
course.
that's happening, Barry has to be on top.
Could we try?
Sure. Make a carpenter's tools check.
I don't have carpenter's tools.
You might have to
Make an intelligence
Oh,
check.
don't make me do this. 15.
Ooh, wow.
So you managed to you're like, okay, it's mostly just put this bed on top of the other and okay, dresser, slide that under. So it's kind of just this haphazard. It's more of a fort than a bunk bed. But you've always thought bunk beds were cool. So you
Always
managed
wanted
to
to sleep
put
in
it
a bunk
together. Barry's hanging off of it, big belly sticking up, drool raining down on your face from the upper bunk.
Perfect.
But you're woken up by the knock at the door.
Oh,
And you guys can hear someone knocking on gently rapping on the manor door.
I will go downstairs.
Nevermore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna just you will hear Hadrian muttering, "Fucking Raven at the door. The Raven nevermore. I fucking hate this Shaw, this bitch. I hope she goes and dies in a ditch." And he's gonna just mutter as he goes down. And he's some weirdish guardian rhyme. You can tell he's obviously tailored to his own preferences as he opens the door.
As you open it up, you see a reasonably well-dressed gentleman, large ridges kind of serpentine up on his forehead that kind of shape into a spoon, this thick, almost cobra-like collar of flesh from his neck to onto his shoulders. There's these long extended bits to the ear and sleek black hair. See he's in a bit of a tunic. It looks rather nice, but sort of odd patches of color here and there. With a little bag with him, as he kind of gives a bow and says, "You, my friend, look in dire need of a tailor. I happen to be in the area and heard you could use my services."
Oh, this very attractive and charming man whose name I can't remember for reasons, but who runs a magical shop, told me that there was a tailor in the area. Are you
The very same that likely recommended me. Now, please, right this way. I see you're still dressed a little, 600, or year 230 SE, a little bit.
I do prefer the ancient Ishgardian fashions, yes. Come on in.
Now,
I will invite him in because
the name's Elam.
I am Hadriel.
Charmed.
Wish I could say likewise, don't know enough about you yet. But come in anyway.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to get to know each other.
I appreciate your optimism. Everybody, emergency, there's a tailor here. On second thought, that sounds stupid, but if you want to come down, you can.
There's never a bad time to correct one's fashion faux pas.
And what would you say my faux pas here is?
All the leather is a bit gauche, don't you think?
I will say at this point I am in my like casual sleeping clothes, so it's still black. Hadrian has a vibe,
But
but you know how I usually dress. I appreciate it. Yeah, sure. Okay, what would you recommend then?
I think something a little slimming, trim, perhaps something with a little bit of color to liven up yourself, and something that is a little bit more discreet than the brooding outfit.
I have been mistaken for a relative of mine recently, who I would rather not be mistaken for. So that may be a good idea.
One does have to watch out for the relatives.
Indeed.
So, what brings you and your friends to town? I heard you were in dire need of a little bit of help, and I came to stop by. But I understand you've been asking around a bit. Rumors spread in a small town like this.
Mhm.
Well, small town.
Yeah, this is kind of a large city.
It's millions of people. But
It is. It is. You guys know this is a huge city, and he's kind of just
Right.
calling it a small
Garth has come
town.
down the stairs at this point.
Yeah,
Small town. You call
Oh,
this
the
a
places I've been. Why, I once served as the left hand of an emissary of the Council of Nexus. Just a little bit of a paper pusher. That was until the whole poor man died suddenly of some sort of toxic exposure to the ink on his documents that I had nothing to do with.
I was about to say, and I'm sure you had nothing to do with that.
Well, it's just unfortunate.
Jesus, you're sus.
He
Anyway,
just smiles at you.
I'm gonna make some breakfast. You want some, Adrian?
Yeah, sure. The usual.
All right, yeah, I got you.
I'm just gonna. Would you like to sit with us for a bit?
Oh no, I'm just taking in all of your measurements.
And yet, I can't help but notice that okay. So as he's saying that, he obviously has no ruler, no spool, no tailoring tools, and I can't help but notice that the measurements you're taking seem to be not necessarily related to our clothing.
One's fashion is their first step into the world. It presents an argument to everyone.
And yet you have not denied a single word I've said about the fact that you're not actually here to measure our clothes, you're here to measure us.
I haven't confirmed it either.
It's true you haven't confirmed it, but again, the denial as confirmation is still a thing in this world. You know that, right?
Only if you believe in absolutes,
Methinks
which I think just insinuate a lack of imagination.
Methinks he does protest too much. Are you familiar with this? It's a Macbeth, very, very, very old play about Shah and Mogus. A bit tawdry at parts. Really tawdry, actually. Don't love it.
I preferred the endless vigil about the soldiers of Ishgard. One family serving after the other on their endless vigil of countless nights' watch, only to die and repeat the same thing for their duty to their empire.
Yes,
A true tale of the real heroes who know what it takes to make a difference.
Well, the Ishgardian knights are few at this point, and some
But not to be forgotten.
Oh.
And he kind of reaches out now. He pulls out a stick. Kind of this little strip of fabric. I have to do your shoulders. Turn around.
I'll turn around.
There is, as you're kind of being measured up, that combat sixth sense. You feel this person.
Yeah. I totally. As he's like, you get like, I feel like he's measuring Hadrian's shoulders, and he's gonna get a full 2 extra inches. This is just he's tensing occasionally, and like the shoulder. It's like, sorry. Listen.
It's just that sixth sense, like a snake coiled up behind you, you know.
Yeah, and Hadrian has that, right? He's got the sort of the warrior.
Have you gotten a chance to see any of the sites, the museums, the quads, any of the theaters?
Oh, yes. Actually, come to think of it, most of the rumors we were asking about were related to that. I can't help but wonder. from what our mutual friend said. Might you have any insight into the interest of certain groups or
What?
individuals in that?
I hear all of the city's gossip. Who do you think designs the Queen's dresses?
Oh. Well, you should be hung for that. Apparently, they're very gaudy. But I assume that's her taste, not yours.
Well said.
Are we all in the same room at this point?
Yeah, you guys are all.
Yeah,
I'll wait
Hadrian's
for
just bantering with him, trying to get information out of this fucking slippery
Did,
bastard.
did you say you designed the queen's dresses?
Indeed. She's a regular patron of mine. I have worked all across the world, and my designs and talents are known far and wide. I was even a gardener to the Valachian Markovs.
So you were a gardener and a paper pusher.
And now
you
a
said-
tailor.
Why do I? You're just full of shit.
You lack imagination, as stated earlier. And yes, my dear, how can I help you?
I'm quite curious. How difficult do you think it would be to meet the queen?
Well, she does choose her friends very carefully, so
Carefully enough that maybe a tailor who knows her well might go and meet potential friends.
I don't think I could quite invite you to our tea parties, per se, but I might be able to spread a little bit of gossip at the right time. If it was worth sharing, of course.
Well, it's just that we have a patron right now that we're not particularly fond of.
Oh, I'm quite aware of who is fronting.
Well,
the
then you know
money
very
for the
well why
bill.
we're not very fond of them.
Oh, he's such a bastard, Hadrian. Like as he's just and just starts
People
venting
like
about
him
Joe.
tend to get what's coming to them.
I certainly hope so.
Yes. Well,
That being said, as he brings like a blade up with just this slight precision to cut a little bit of fabric to measuring a bit of a tunic on that, and you can feel just that itch of the blade up the hairs on the back of your neck, Hadrian.
Again, you would also he's bristling like they're every part of my body is like okay, like spin, knock the blade out of his hand, put him on the ground, stab him. He's not doing it. He's like,
Uh,
and I'm sure he'd be able to tell. He seems like an insightful person.
there is as all of you are watching him, and he's just kind of going on, and the more and more you try and get to know him and get information about what he is or who he's doing or what's going on with him, the more it just seems to circle back around to questions about you and you guys talking about yourselves. I need all of you to make wisdom saves.
Am I there? I thought I was making breakfast.
You are, but they're also coming in and kind of moving around the table.
Get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Me 4. Hadrian is not buying this shit.
What'd you get?
24.
I got a 10.
19 on that was stories.
I might fail.
What? Oh shit! I've got a bless turned on. Ignore that. But 22. What? Yeah, 22.
So you guys kind of catch on and are aware of it. It's not a magical thing that's doing it. It's just he has a way of talking and kind of half truths and spinning stories, and you keep catching the stories are slightly different every time he tells them, and losing track of the details. And it's normally when people are lying, they try and hold to the story, and you catch them in faults or catch them holding on to too much of the details. And these are just so blatant,
grandiose,
and upfront, and acted like they don't even exist. Like there is no difference into the story, and whatever you're saying at the time, that happens to be what's true. It just gets really hard to do this, but you guys managed to not give up any of the information that he's circling around.
I will say I recognize this as well from way back in our first sessions. Hadrian making up shit to. It's the same kind of thing, I suppose, right? Like the casual lying, for very different reasons, I assume. I don't assume he's suffering from amnesia. That same kind of thing, correct?
Not quite. It's more like he'll tell you the story about how he was a gardener at this place, but then he'll tell you he was a gardener at a different place. Then he'll tell you he was a gardener until this happened, and then that happened, and there was an accident. But then it's that the children fell and died, and they got rid of the gardener because they blamed that. And the stories change. And it's just casual chit chat, but he seems to be dancing around with your guys' wisdom saves. Seems to be kind of dancing around your interest in the museum, particularly, and brief mentions of interest in the queen. He seems make an insight check, actually, all of you.
I believe 21.
14.
13.
So Hadrian can tell that there is some legitimate concern for the queen. What you can't tell is whether that's because he has bad intentions for the queen or good intentions for the queen.
Okay.
But there is concern for the queen.
Okay. As he finishes measuring like the seam of my pants, I will just like step away, look towards him, and listen. Mr. Gardner Taylor, have you planted the seeds or sown the threads of any particular gnomish groups interested in the museum?
As I said, I hear a lot from this city. I do happen to know of a particular well-interested group of gnomes that have a fondness for history.
I see. We too have a fondness for history. And may I say, we have a fondness for history remaining out of the hands of people who would eliminate the potential for the creation of more history, if that makes sense. So are we allies or enemies in this? Do you want to see the world continue spinning threads and spools and seeds being planted, or not?
A gardener must always tend to many plants and be concerned with the garden as a whole as opposed to any one plant. However, Taylor has to be concerned with the ensemble. And with a wave of his hand, this sort of colorful, Renaissance-y red velvet tunic is on Hadrian that you guys did not know he was putting together. But you just sort of this.
Is it okay? I look down. Is it like the frilly Shakespearean, or is it like at least? Okay.
That's really rather impressive.
Looks good on you.
A plague on all your houses, he says. Also, red is a good color for me, but for very different reasons than anything else.
Can you do that for anyone?
Of course.
So, Elon, we share an interest in history and continual fostering of tailoring and gardening. You know gnomes, we know gnomes. You know the museum, we know the museum. You have an interest in making dresses for the queen. We have an interest in ensuring the queen continues to be able to wear dresses.
And I do think we might be on the same side in this. There are many parties involved.
Yes, it gets
So it
quite
might-
confusing after a while. Sorry, pardon me, keep going.
I'm just a humble tailor. All I do is hear rumors. It wouldn't be up to me in any capacity to orchestrate some sort of heist or crime on behalf of another individual.
But if you were to, who would that individual be, and how would we get in touch with the people organizing the heist to make sure that it succeeded?
I could arrange a meeting, if you like.
Oh, I would very much like that.
I think you might regret that. But I'll arrange a meeting.
Sorry, that's not some sort of euphemism for like an assassination or something, is it? Like, you will regret meeting X, just to be clear.
Do you think it is?
Well, I don't know if it is, which is why I'm asking for clarification.
Then I'd be concerned if I were you.
Magna, you have to talk in circles here. Like, remember all our lessons in Primordial? Use way more words than you have to.
Well, that's kind of my point. He's like being sort of indirect and circly and saying things different each time he says it. So If anybody should be concerned, it'd probably be you for your own memory, to be fair.
Why would I have to keep anything straight?
Well, it helps
Because you're a
build
tailor.
trust with those. Oh, and that too. A mighty good one, mind. That's very
See,
impressive.
that, my
craftsmanship.
friend, is where we're different. I don't trust anyone or anything.
Ah,
I mean, why is that? I don't trust
well,
anyone. Doesn't mean
because
I'm
he doesn't
honest with
trust
them.
many people, and
I just don't care. That's the difference.
But he puts his hand on your shoulder, Magner. Believe me, it'll all be all right.
Insight check. Insight check. It is. No, actually, I'm not even going to roll. Hadrian doesn't believe it's going to be all right. I don't care. Like, I don't care what I roll.
Are we all going to meet this person, or is just one of us?
Well, I can tell them where to find you.
We're all coming here.
I don't think we want him in the house. We haven't cleaned up yet. There's still a dead spider downstairs.
no, we cleaned that up. Don't worry.
Yeah, the spider's gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to make excuses. Like,
Oh, right. Sorry, talking in
Yeah.
circles, not in a straight line again.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. We shouldn't meet here. The place is not ready to receive an individual like that. But perhaps while some of us, you know what, we have been interested in checking out a show at the theater. Is this
Yeah.
person interested in theater?
Not particularly.
Are they interested in mocking theater?
Not particularly.
Do they like to drink?
Not particularly.
Good.
Okay.
We'll want to go to another path for a meeting.
Well, would they be amenable?
I'll let them know, and they'll decide how they contact you.
Okay, that's better. Thank you very much. Also, this is a wonderful outfit, but
Before we go, my dear, you asked about gossip. Kind of looking to Westora. I seem to
Well.
have an ear for it.
I often encounter gossip in my various capacities and as a courtier.
So you understand exactly what it's like to have the ear and do the hustle and bustle around all of the noble elite, always whispering in and how any word might be able to spread favor or misfortune.
I do. Why are you also somebody who is well connected with all that? Well familiar with it?
I'm a tailor, aren't I?
Yes, true.
Is it though?
Just a simple tailor.
I have an idea.
But if that'll be all,
We want some breakfast. I made some.
I helped myself. There's some missing.
All right. I mean,
That was quick. Did you get egg all over my new doublet? Okay. Farewell, Elam. I'll close the door. And is this a magical Shakespearean doublet? Can I take it off, or is it like?
Yeah,
is it,
you can take it off. It's not magical.
okay. So he's just really fast. Like
Press the digitation.
I will start. I will like. Okay, so anyway, it's like okay, so here's the thing. And he's like, okay, so it's very like shamelessly, he's like switching back into his other clothes, like he's putting him to the side, stripping off his shirt. And so here's the thing. So I have an idea based on what he said, which is that those little rumors, right?
Yes.
Of he seems to have. I'm trying to read into everything he said, and I'm not great at it, but correct me if I'm wrong. A rumor can plant a seed. We know that this person is Jill's nephew, is the Queen's nephew, planting the seeds there about Jill's general shittiness, right? But we think he's acting outside of the Queen's authority, going there and sort of getting that rumor ball flowing before the ball, right? Like that. Maybe that's what he was hinting at. A casual word there, a gesture there.
do we want to make an enemy of Jill before the ball?
Oh, it wouldn't be direct. No,
Yeah,
I get where Adrian's coming from. If we can just start putting a bit more distance between them, if
Word
there
gets
isn't
back
already.
to us that we did it.
I think there's always some risk involved, but what we don't want to do is be tied to Jill. Because again, may I say, like, I
I'm
cannot
gonna agree.
vouch for my sanity, but Jill is a fucking crazy person. And
I would also point out, Garth, I don't think it would come as a terrible surprise to Jill if word got out that we didn't like him very much. I mean, he knows it's a thing of convenience. I don't think he's going to be like shocked and horrified to realize that.
especially because I literally say that to his face every time he walks in the door.
Yeah,
And as he walks out the door, and generally speaking, all the time, even when I'm just suspecting he's watching us through scrying.
I've been as nice as I can to him.
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm
you're
used
generally very nice to everyone, to be fair.
you are.
Well,
It's true.
Sometimes.
Well, unless they point something pointy at you.
Or they hurt Barry, unless they hurt Barry.
Oh,
then
well,
you're-
that would do it.
That's a line.
I am Barry. I did while we were shopping. Buy you this, and I will pull out I will subtract this from my inventory, but a bottle of 15 gold's worth of whiskey. And this is really good whiskey,
I'll
Barry.
take that. Give it to me. You hand it here.
God, it's honey whiskey. It was for.
I know, but you can't have the whole bottle at once.
Okay, so you distribute it. You are the parent here.
Roars.
It's okay. You have to drink it a little bit at a time in between the other alcohol. Oh, it's just not special. Oh, don't give me those eyes. Not happening this time.
Okay, so theater later in the day. I'm fine with just sort of chilling until then.
Go to the theater.
The Bloom Theater. That's where Jill's nephew is.
I really look out of place here, don't I?
Got a place where?
Or in the
theater?
city. The city.
No, this is a pretty
Well, you should wear.
wide and varied.
In the streets.
You should generally wear a shirt. I think that's step one.
It's so constricting.
Yeah, trust me, I know. He says, like, as he's like still changing, and like again, there's just like the anime muscles are just like, but like you have to conform to society. Like pants are a societal construct. You don't, but you need to wear them.
We just saw a tailor. I didn't ask for clothes.
Pants are a societal construct. I like that. I like that.
It's true. I mean, we didn't wear pants in Ishgard. He says, completely lying.
Maybe I'll go get some clothes made today before the theater.
You know,
Might not be a bad idea.
I know a really good tailor you could go see. Actually,
What's his name?
Elam, I think.
We have no idea how to find him, do we?
I'm sure we could ask around.
He is a very
Elam-
famous tailor.
Elam was just here. Again, I didn't ask for clothes.
Yep, you're looking for something smart but practical.
Yeah.
I will say the frills on this are a bit much, but
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I do not believe you for a second, Mr. God, I believe you, but I disagree.
Why wouldn't you believe me?
Because
What have I done?
your general vibes. Just like,
My general vibes. Huh?
Sorry.
Yes, well.
Well,
yeah,
if there's
no,
nothing
that's
else,
just your opinion.
if there's nothing else to
Just
do here,
your opinion, man.
I'm gonna go try to find a tailor. If I'm not back in 4 hours, I'm probably dead
Okay. What should we
I
do?
just want to know, tailor.
or lost. One of the two.
All right. So you're just wandering off trying to find a tailor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hadrian's just gonna sit until
Make a investigation check.
Yeah.
At disadvantage, do you know what a tailor is?
Hmm.
Does Garth know what a tailor
Can I
is?
make an intelligence check to see if I know what it?
Sure, sure.
He did just meet one.
It's
Somebody
someone who
called
tells tales. That's as far as she got.
I got a 2.
Yeah, they're storytellers. So you're able to find a bunch of tailors around town on the street.
Could you make me clothes?
Yeah.
But then
You gotta
someone,
give them
someone would point me in that direction with his ass to make me clothes.
Yeah. Now make an investigation check.
I rolled an 8.
Oh, so you're looking around town. Eventually, people just get convinced that you're just messing with them, and they're like, "Oh, I heard you were doing this by the shop, right?" Coming around asking, "Oh, of course, oh, it's so good, wonderful joke, wonderful joke."
Something
Yeah,
funny.
they give you a couple coins.
Don't miss a joke.
Oh, you'll have to do it to the baker next. The baker.
Here comes the
Well,
baker.
the
with his
baker, I
trays.
want
I got the baker to make clothes.
I don't want a
Candlestick
baker. I want a
maker.
tailor. That's what I want.
Tell the baker that. It'll be hilarious. I totally understand. I'm in on the joke, darling.
Um,
Oh, I hate cities.
sorry, that broke me. I'm gonna have to mute for a bit.
Oh, I'll try to head back to the fucking. This is some bullshit.
It just kicks open the door. This day sucks.
I fucking hate
I'm-
Amarys. I want to go home.
I will just go sit in sort of a more open park just in case I get contacted by gnomish individuals. But otherwise, that's all I'm doing until we go to the theater. So I'll sit and I'll play the lyre, and if people want to put coins in front of me, I'll put a hat out just in case. Not a top hat, because that is
Make a
God
performance check.
Okay.
I got a couple coins, you said?
Yeah, you make 3 gold.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right.
People thought you were being hilarious.
I got 3
Well,
shinies
if your
on it.
adventuring career fails, you can always be a
22.
comedian, apparently.
I guess.
22. All right, you
As
are
I'm
able to make
singing a Nishgardian jaunty tune about clocks and
7 gold.
tick tock goes the clock. As
And so a person says, "Excuse me, are you a member of the Dead Languages Society?"
I well,
Because they've been performing something in that very same language recently a lot. Quintilius, I think is the name. Oh, he's dreamy.
oh,
But-
who is this person that's talking to me, by the way?
Just a random stranger on the street. Blue dress, looks like a nice sort of lady. You can see she's got this sort of white, flared out domino kind of mask.
Yeah, I will bow before her. Just well, I mean, those of us who do study the dead languages are generally dreamy individuals, but I will say I have not heard of a Quintilius.
Oh, yeah, he's been performing. He insists on doing everything in the language as original. And supposedly, he's found some ancient play of Ishgardian, of Ishgard, or of Aruk, of long lost love. And she is saying that the language that you were speaking, she thinks is Arukian because that's what she's heard from the theater.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Ishgardian.
He twitches a bit. Yes, Arukian, indeed. Well,
He's performing later tonight.
would it be at the Bloom Theater, perchance?
The very same.
Oh, do you have any idea?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? You're just messing with a noble woman.
I might be. You're so easy to mess with. It's not in a bad way.
Oh, you! And she kind of just gives you a gentle push on the shoulder.
I almost
You
give
villain.
a gentle one back, and then I realize that I cannot because I am way too strong, and I would probably hurt her. So I know I am. I even this whole attire. It's because I play the villain. Those things.
Well, have you heard? For the Queen's birthday, they're going to be reciting this ancient Arukian poem. live with magical instruments to re-enhance and bring the spirits of Luke.
Oh, I had heard
It is going to be amazing.
that.
I myself managed to land myself an invite. If you aren't doing anything on the 15th,
I happen to have an invite as well. What is your name, lady? Sorry, GM.
Amelie Lorange.
I'm
Sorry, Nick.
Amelia Lingerie. Yeah, that's not any reference to other things. Amelie Lorange. Well, I don't know exactly when I'll be entering, but I will tell you that I have a splendid outfit prepared, and I will actually spin and put the outfit on because I have the coat, the sort of the long black with the single angel wing cape and the mask, and you'll recognize me instantaneously if you see me.
I happen to be wearing my mask this very day myself. We'll see each other then. And she gives you like a long bow.
I kiss her hand and I go.
She kind of
back.
flips out of found and does the sort of French like wave and walk off as she.
I don't know
Westora and Magnar,
don't know why they do that.
what are you doing while the two of them go and make fools of themselves?
Hey! I got an invite and information from doing that.
I got 3 shinies.
I got
don't
7.
really know, to be honest. Right now, we've got this Taylor guy. Certainly, the theater thing sounds interesting, but we don't have invitations ourselves, right? So
No, Jill was going to get you guys
Jill
in.
sorting that out.
yeah, for the theater. So yeah, I don't think I have anything particular in mind to do right now. I think what Sir will do is go take a nice hot bath for a while.
All right. There's a very nice, pleasant, warm bath with all of your expensive perfumes and scents.
You know it.
If we're just lounging
Roll a
around.
Constitution save for me.
Ooh,
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
That's never good.
They probably are like horrifically poisonous, like a lot of things.
just too
people
many
used to
smellies.
I
Oh.
think I'm okay.
What'd you roll?
20.
I rolled a net
So
20.
you are so relaxed to these perfumes, and you've just needed this you time for
Yeah.
so long.
Oh yeah. No, it's just so
And
stressful. All these
the
men
perfumes
about.
and soaps and lotions and hot water, it all
Yeah.
just soaks in. And you are well rested for the day and have are considered blessed
Ooh, nice. That's a +1 to saves and attack
until
rolls.
you take a rest.
All right. Nice. All right. Yeah. You know what? That's what a good bath does. Never underestimate one.
Magnar, what are you doing?
Magnar's going to be continuing his studies of High Common.
All right. As you're looking at the book, kind of looking through, trying to practice High Common, saying it, yeah, and you remember some of the recitations from priests and everything like that. You're kind of looking up from the book and see a figure in the doorway, and you're just kind of like, "Oh, hey, Hadrian," and as you're kind of looking up and look back, see a familiar face. Broken, like you can see the burnt scorch marks from where the forge erupted across their body, and the uniform with their tunic scorched. Uh, your friend Helja, she had to take you. You you had her do the job. You had her fix the thing, and she did not walk out. And you drop the book,
Helja?
and then she's gone.
Oh. Well, that was That was not something I wanted to be remembering. Why is that? Oh. It should have been me who died that day. How have I been stumbling around wondering why I'm fated? When I should know bloody well why I'm fated, because of my own bloody actions and my own bloody choices.
As Evan, Garth, walks into the door, like looking, like he's slamming stuff around and walks in. I got shinies.
Okay, bad news, guys. I couldn't find a tailor. Everyone thought I was joking, right?
Well, where did you go looking?
Everywhere. I asked everyone I saw.
Just
Well, I
walking
told him,
outside the house
and
in
they
a circle.
laughed at me.
Bump into a tailor in the street. You need to
I know.
find a tailor's shop.
I was asking people where to find one, right? And they just laughed at me. I told you I don't fit in here.
Oh,
They think
sorry
I'm like
about
a
that.
joke or something. I don't get it. I just want to buy some clothes.
Well, you could, I'm sure we could find a tailoring district. Or, if you like, I've been meaning to try me hand at, doing some sewing, some crafts work that doesn't involve hot metal. And, Desco would be as impressed, I believe, with finely done clothes and fabrics and the like as he would with a well-crafted sword.
How much you want for something like this?
Well, no, I can't promise you anything just yet because I couldn't have you anything done by tonight. I've got too much to learn and practice. But I mean, if you just wanted something quick, I might be able to make something out of the drapery.
Yeah, just something, give a trial run.
I might have to go and pick up some tools first.
Good luck finding anything in this city.
You look back at Garth, you see the same burn marks that were on Helja just all over Garth.
Wait, Garth, what happened? Where did you go looking? And actually, reaches a hand and is about to cast Cure Wounds on Garth. And if it doesn't clear up, I'm actually going to cast it.
It by the time you do go to cast Cure Wounds and it clears up, but you use the spell.
Okay, it's gone. All right.
You feel revitalizing magic wash over you and do nothing.
I know what that is. I do have that spell.
You have felt that spell before.
Look, I appreciate it, but I'm not hurt.
You were badly burned and
I mean, the scar I do have does look pretty sick, but it's not a burn.
I think I might. No, I don't really want to go and lie down for a bit. Some companies.
Are you all right?
I think I might be getting a little tiny bit of an understanding of what Adrian's been going through.
Are you talking to yourself and hearing voices talk back?
No, not that bit. But
Are you
some
secretly-
memories that I've been trying to suppress are coming back and doing so rather forcefully.
Well, I found a great remedy for that.
What's that then?
Alcohol. You drink
pass.
enough of this stuff and you pass out, and you don't think about it anymore.
All right. Well, I don't think you want a passed out dwarf just before we head off to the theatre.
And around then would be when Westora was finishing her bath and Hadrian was returning.
I will into just so everyone, Two things. One, Quintilius is apparently doing a Dead Language Society thing, and he likes primordial Ishgardian poetry. He thinks it's Sarukian, which I may have to kill him for. But other than that, I think that it's a good avenue in to seem a saint when most I play the villain, as I say, and I'll spin and turn the armor into the full leather trench coat and the full Ishgardian getup. And secondly, I apparently have a date for the masquerade.
I hope you don't mention that in front of a particular gnome.
Is it her? Is it the gnome?
No, I don't think she has an invite.
No,
I
but,
also
she might be the type to murder somebody who has an invite and a date with you.
Oh, he like blushes. It's been a while since anyone has wanted to murder somebody for me. No, I'm kidding. But I do think I would like to go to the theater as soon as possible if anyone wants to go there early with me to try and meet this person and see if I could persuade him to get myself in on his act as a way of like ingratiating myself with him.
Well, I could definitely do with a stroll. And
Yeah,
get out of the house
Magna,
a bit.
you love primordial. You're trying to learn it, and this could be a good.
No, well, I suppose.
Well, it
Yes.
could be a good opportunity for you to learn the.
Like, spoken by a professional.
Yes.
Yes, as opposed to a slightly creepy native. Yes, I was trying to brush up on my heart. Never mind about that. Yeah, we could head over to the theater.
All right. So as you guys prepare, get ready, finish up whatever you're doing around the house, and head out to look for the theater.
Let a bear into the theater.
Huh?
You think they'll let a bear into the theater?
I think bears are keystone of performances sometimes, guys.
All right.
Depends
Well,
on the
just let
theater.
him.
I'll put you guys on the map as you guys enter Thy Bloom Theater. You guys walk into the large bar and tavern. There are two tiers of stages. One that's just sort of a small table that's more for like a dancer to sit with little seats set around it. There's stairs that lead up. There's two large table and benches. Then further up, there's two circular ones with several round chairs around them. There's a Owlin and a Leonin having lunch, watching uh, the play. You can see someone dressed up in what looks like glorious, like very exaggerated ranger slash traveler adventurer gear, these huge arcing sort of exaggerated shoulder plates and everything. But the thing that he notices is as he moves, the what should be metal and looks like metal bends more like material that's kind of been stiffened a little bit. Uh, and the bar's relatively unfull. There's two layers to it. It's well lit by candlelight, and the windows are open. And in the evening, an early afternoon light coming through, it's shining brilliantly. And up on the stage, you see a red-haired young man, a bit of a swarmy grin, sharp features, strong jaw, and a strong nose with light blue eyes and pale skin in blue and red tunic, kind of leather jacket, one side pulled over the other in a wrap, uh, creating illusions. And as you're walking in, you hear him saying, "There beeth a graying tower lone upon sea, and thou became the sun, shined thy shadow heart. Thou remained a drug, and thee the high, yet who with his fears put beside? Or some fierce thing replete with too much rage, whose strength abundance weakens his own heart. So I, For fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's rite, and in mine own love's strength seem to decay, or charged with burden of mine own love's might. Oh, let my books be then the eloquence, and dumb presagers of my speaking breast, who plead for love and look for recompense. A heart's been aching, but thou art too dainty to say it. Inside we both knoweth what has happened. Thou knoweth the game, and both are players. And if it be true, asketh me about my humour. Thou art too blindeth to see that I doth claim to never giveth thee up, nor alloweth thee down.
Okay. Oh, Hadrian rages. I know, I know I'm a barbarian. I will say he will go to the stage, just sort of like, but yes, I'll do that. Like everyone else do their things first. He's gonna go immediately try and like talk to this person.
Like in the middle of their performance.
Yeah, he's gonna do he's gonna do
I can't do the whole. I can't just sit here and do the whole play.
No, I know, but he's gonna do a rap battle. That's his idea here.
You're gonna burst onto the stage while he's in the middle of his performance.
He's gonna wait until a pause and then call him out. I think is the vibe here, or at least like he'll wait till he gets off the stage and then talk to him.
I would say think about what you're doing as you guys are walking in. Think about that as you guys walk in. And
oh God, I fucking hate that so much, Frosty.
I'm at this table here.
I got you guys though.
And the outlet.
Got the whole audience.
I am going to go and very politely just find a really nice seat. Let's see, what's a good seat? Right up here. Over there. Grab a bench there.
And you can see there's these seats up front right at the stage, and there's a whole bunch of girls swooning and guys swooning over this gentleman.
Yeah, I'll let them stay up there and swoon. I'll hang back here and watch.
Okay.
I'm not the swooning type.
Magnar and Magnar and Garth.
Oh, I'm taking a seat at the table with the Leon and the outlet.
Okay.
For no reason at all.
For no reason at all.
No reason.
Let's see. I will head up here.
Giselle and Chloe, if you're out there, we miss you, and I hope you are well.
I will just take a seat with Garth.
Hey, Magna, pull the seat. You look, I've seen you two before somewhere.
Now I'm sad.
One of them's like, "Oh, I feel like I have seen you somewhere too, perhaps in a dream."
That would make sense. I do see people in my dreams quite a bit.
We see people in our dreams so much too.
No way.
Perhaps we should start a club someday.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna go and see if Westora's all right.
Sorry about him. He's a bit grumpy sometimes.
I think that's just dwarves, right? They don't have the spirit for it. The Leonins kind of talking to you. How about you? What brings you to Amaris?
Just Amaris. Oh, the Queen's birthday we gotta go to.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I hear it is going to be quite the exceptional event. I came here to see if the Queen could assist the Valakians.
Valakian? Ooh, Valakia. Yeah.
You've been?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, my partner here is trying to make a name for her Astrian family and negotiate trade. So we're offering some assistance. We're looking to hope to arrange some assistance to help bring in supplies for those less fortunate in Valakia, as you have seen passing through. Many of the Valakians live in slums and squalor.
Yeah, it's also a lot of what do they call them? Not dead, running around.
The undead, yes.
Undead, that's the word.
My order is seeking to bring an end to the endless night curse. We hope that if we can beg the kindness of the Amarisians, that they might lift said curse.
Well, I wish you luck in your endeavors. Would you like me to put a word in for you? I can. If I do get
If you have the ear of the queen, that would be fantastic.
I'm only going to a birthday. Well, if I do see her, I'll put a good word in for you.
Well, my name is Taro, and this is my friend Mira.
Got it. You said something about starting a club. We should do that.
Yes, for those with similar dreams.
Similar Dreams Club. Yeah, I like that. It got a nice ring to it.
Of course, you're so charming.
Thanks. Actually, no one's ever said that.
As you're enjoying your time with them, Magnar, where were you headed?
Oh, at the mentions of dreams and such like, Magnar decided that he would just check on Westora, so he sat over with Westora on the other table.
As you guys watch as Hadrian begins to apparently walk up the steps of the bar to the stage. Hadrian, what are you doing?
Okay. I will wait till he finishes his soliloquy. Hadrian knows performance, right?
So you're just like standing there impatiently at the stairs.
So here's what Hadrian is trying to do. Inject a bit, because there's girls swooning, but there's nothing better in theater than the element of surprise and a surprise villain coming onto the stage, right? He's gonna try and inject life into the performance. Like that's what I'm like. He's not going up there to punch Quintilius in the face, right?
Make a performance check at disadvantage.
I'm using my inspiration on this. And also, I will say, if I roleplay this, can I negate the disadvantage? Because I will roleplay this. You know I will. Like,
I don't know if I have the ability to play this.
no, but it's more what Hadrian's gonna say. That's all I'm saying, right? Like it's less about as he would step up and just all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood already, as the words of my home drip from your tongue in crimson falls of self-aggrandizement, crying, preening to the gods and the dragons above. There's many a gentle person made a jack in these days and age. As thou shalt say, we shall not forget, nor give up, and yet with old odd ends stolen out of Ao's writ, we seem saints when most we play the devil. So wise and young as thee, they say, do never live long, and so draw down, run amok, come forth in thy own arrogance and wit, to say upon this stage that thou dost have no mastery nor wit, and yet a longing for something past. Face the spectre, the deed, the black wrath of those whose words you mangle. And again, he's very performative here. He is not angry. Like, he's not trying to actually be angry. He's trying to basically, if there was the way I would describe this, he's giving Quintilius an opening to do a fight scene where he dramatically kills Hadrian. And he's like waving and like throwing a, he does a little
Make the performance check, see if it gets conveyed.
I will. 25.
It says, and thou who dance and prance upon the stage in most dire hours, sit and steal from me a hearth and sup. You claim I rest from the breast of Ao, the most divine of words, but do not give chase to noble heritage of my birth. And he begins to go into kind of a counter and gives into it. And you guys get into the fight scene, and he does seem pissed, but he runs with it. And because you start to kind of subside and let him have the win in the performance,
Yeah.
and he kind of takes that and does make you into the fool of the scene.
I will say he will not let himself be made the fool. He will be the villain. I will not be the fool. I will be the villain of the scene.
And you do outperform him, so you do manage to keep that from happening. And eventually he wins. You do have let him kind of win the fight in like a you're going to return
Yeah.
way, and make an insight check.
25.
You can tell he's fairly pissed off. He is not to the pissed off like screaming, throwing down the thing, like show must go on. He's a showman, but
Yeah,
he definitely is insulted.
good. Fucker should
Well,
be.
well, I guess we're not going to be meeting the queen then.
No, I wanted him to know I'm serious about dead languages.
Well, the play goes on with Stora and Magnar. You have a little bit of time as they're up there doing their play. Make insight checks.
All right. But that comment I made was in character.
Which comment? Oh,
I
to
guess we're
Magnar.
not going to see the queen then.
Yeah.
I got a 12. A
All
mighty,
right.
mighty 12.
You had him rickroll in my people's language. I'm not going to sit by and let that happen.
I got a 10.
So you guys can't really read the scene. It looks dramatic and flair, but eventually, you guys have some time amongst each other to talk if you would like.
Is he flirting or sparring or
I think he's just pissed
uh
and just trying to embarrass a man because the man had the gall of speaking in his dead language.
well, I thought that was kind of the point.
Yeah, well,
He
apparently,
didn't like what he was saying in it. Yes. I worked out what he was saying.
look, I've met a lot of people over there that just butcher Sylvan and Elvish. I don't get pissed about it.
But it didn't actually sound all that bad to me. It was sort of overly verbose and somewhat flowery, which, near as I can tell, is how you're supposed to use it.
I don't understand. Obviously, I don't speak the language, but
No, he could have just said that he was never going to give us up and that he wouldn't let us down. He had to just go and add all these extra flowery words into it.
that's right. Yeah. But that's a great poem, though. I much prefer that one.
Yes, gets to the point
I-
rather.
Yeah, you never turn around or what's the phrasing?
I will say, as it's ending, Hadrian will not take a bow. He will, though, step back and applaud Quintilius. Like he's trying to be diplomatic about that part. Trying to let Quintilius have the hero's show there, right? Be the
Yeah. Make a wisdom save.
because otherwise I'm going to stab him. That makes sense. I will make this wisdom. Give me a second. 13. I'll use a hero point for that. 14.
So you really try and swallow that pride, kind of give him the moment and really shine. But several of the women have turned to you. You have definitely stolen the show in your performance, and he is very, very pissed. As he bows and gives you the bow as well.
I don't
and
take
says,
it.
"Oh, come on!" He pulls you up. No. Good sir, good sir. A great performance of merit and heroism. Come, where would any hero be without his villain? Come, rise, and let us give this audience a bow.
I will bow with him, and I will say in his ear, "And a villain and a hero make a better partnership than a hero alone."
And you should watch your step. Make a dex save.
Hero
Did you
point.
roll?
13.
13. So he manages to push you off, make it look like you trip as you bow too far and fall off the stage.
I will make a performance check to make it look intentional and smile at the women who are in front of the bar.
As you fall into their dress.
Yeah, basically, that's the vibe.
Okay, make a performance check.
He's trying to escalate this. I'm just responding. That's a 20.
All right, hit the tumble, and roll right into the bosom of one of the
for this.
Yes,
one of the
I'm
women.
prideful.
We'll actually we'll say right into Taro, right
No.
next to Garth.
I
And she kind of is like, oh no, no, oh, okay. As everyone else is like clapping and cheering for the role, and you kind of stand up and back, and she
I stand up and
leans a
bow
little
down
bit.
and very, very quickly realizing that she is not into it, I just like
We will
tip
have
a hat.
conversation here, Adrian.
I'm sorry. Continue. That was unintentional.
Oh, show must go on. I understand, but next time, she kind of straightens her dress. Might want to check to make sure that that they're interested in such a performance.
Hmm.
But improv, right? It's all for the show.
Yeah, it's all for the yes and of it. And
Yes,
if you can't
she
accept
splashes her water into your face.
that,
What about this fair play?
I
And
as she
give
does
the
that,
bow.
as she does that, I just take the water and like pull it back in my hair and like, indeed. And I bow again.
And she gives like a curtsy bow, and like you can tell there's no hard feelings. She's just
No, I'm he's very much there. He's just gonna go sit down.
okay. As you return up to that, you guys see Quintilius storm off, like leave out the side, and being followed by several of the women. Most of them are also like half of them have kind of been divided, and some are kind of interested towards Hadrian. The other half are kind of following Quintilius.
Well, that was not the intended outcome, but whatever. We'll run with it.
I think Ostora would try to follow. See if,
Okay. Make a stealthily or just hurriedly or pointedly, I should say.
I don't think I'm trying to be stealthy about it. In fact, if I can, I'll try to get his attention.
Yeah, make a charisma check.
Okay. No skill, yeah. 16.
Yeah. All right. So you kind of, how are you getting his attention?
I'm being diplomatic about it. I'm not trying to like look like a groupie, but basically I'm trying to like say like 1 minute and talk 1
And he
minute.
kind of, you catch his eye a little bit, and he kind of gestures like, "Are you with him?"
With him?
Gesturing to Hadrian.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And he'll walk back across the stage and up around one of the back things up to meet you and Magnar, and give this very just sort of waves his hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up and around and down into a huge bow. And he says, "My name is Quintilius Antiphian Melantor Prismari III. You may call me Quintilius."
I am Mr. West. Yeah, I can't even say my own character's name. Fresh Snow. This is my companion Magnar.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. Sorry, you said we should call you what again?
Quintilius.
Quintilius. Right, got it. Noted.
Thank you for taking the time to come over and speak with me, and I do apologize for my associate. He is somewhat impulsive at times.
I
Does
noticed.
not always appreciate proper decorum.
Probably not the best place to take such an individual, to be frank.
Well, unfortunately, we are companions as of now.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear.
Well, yeah. You don't always get to choose the people you associate with.
Very true, very true. But one does try to cultivate a charming and gracious crowd, as he kind of gestures his hand out to you, of contacts.
Yes, and it was contacts with which we wish to speak to you about. We are Uh, for now, you could call us um, adventurers, I suppose, or
I have heard of such a profession. Why, in fact, the gentleman over there at the bar is a friend of mine from the Dead Languages Society. His name is Kataros. He is a member of the Live Adventurers Reenactment
oh, very
play
excellent,
group.
very interesting. So do they enact tales of adventuring
Indeed.
parties in history? That would be
They,
quite
they
fascinating.
of course help with on the stage, but they dream of being actual adventures. They come up with all of these fantastic stories. Some of them I even hear use these little stones to determine the outcome.
Sounds horribly gauche.
Indeed.
I jest.
But you can't fault someone's imagination. Why, I myself find myself drawn into other worlds as I immerse myself in the lost languages and plays and theater of stories from distant lands.
It is a talent I'm afraid I lack, but as my time as a court in court, I have been able to see many great performances, and
Make
I
an
do
insight,
rival
both of you.
many.
Oh, right.
I will actually say in the Fey courts. I'll say that
I
specifically.
got 13.
And what was your roll,
I
David?
got a 10.
So Magnar just barely notices him roll his eyes at the mention of court. Uh, and he says, "Of course, we must do we can for the courts."
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. They are often messy places filled with complicated politics.
I just have no time for it. All this and that, and who's paying who, and trying to backstab this and sleeping with another's cousin. I just don't care about any of it. I don't see why it has to matter to me.
Well,
Do
don't
you?
let it
But
matter to you then.
I try not to, but he goes as if he's like used to saying something and then stops himself. It's a burden that I have to bear.
Oh, so you have to keep track of it all.
Unfortunately. Not that I pay much attention in the classes anymore. I kind of snip out to do all of this. This is where my real passion lies. But I do have the wonderful excitement of getting to plan a wonderful party and get to use all of this for that party.
Really? So you will be performing at this party? I think I've heard. This wouldn't happen to be the Queen's party, would it?
Yes, my mother's birthday.
Your mother? I did not realize. But I don't mean to force you to dwell on courtly events.
Yes, why don't we tell me about yourself?
Well, I've already mentioned I am uh, a former courtier, um, and fate has sort of uprooted much of my life, and I am now a traveler of sorts. Although I find myself uh, somewhat um,
Troubled?
stuck in Emery's.
Well, you couldn't find a better place to get stuck. Our art, culture, history, music,
There,
food,
there is a
second
great
to none.
there's a great to deal to enjoy here, but I'm afraid I am forced to associate with some which I don't particularly enjoy. And
Looks.
I'm not. I'm actually not referring to my companion over there.
Oh, then who? And with that, we are going to take our halfway break. So thank you, everyone. We're going to jump to our break screen, and we will see you again shortly. All right. So last we left off, Westora was talking to Quintilius about someone in the royal family that she's bobbing her head to about having a problem with.
I didn't mention it was the noble family yet, but I did mention it was
True.
somebody, and I was about to say who it was.
Your
You
little
just
screen
asked.
thing popped up. Oh, You can see the picture is not working.
Oh well. The other ones were
Oh.
working. I don't know what's wrong with that one.
For Cadoris. Yes, Cadoris is a member of the live action role playing guild.
All right, yeah, Adrian's just flirting with people at the table. That's not can't engage with that. I will kill
You
him.
seat next to Doris at the bar, but let them continue their conversation.
All right. So, I'm
So
sorry. Who do you have a problem with other than the oath?
I believe you've heard of Jill.
Well, I think he might be related to him, if I'm not mistaken, by what he just said.
Supposed to be.
Unfortunately, although he does have a knack for helping me get out of trouble, but he's gives me the creeps. If he's after you, I'm sorry.
Well, unfortunately, you could say we've had forced employment with him.
Oh, another one of his schemes about ancient magic and some such,
Mm-hmm.
ascending the elegance and ability of the Prismari house to grand lofty goals, rising above and becoming the prime house.
Sacrificing women to become a god, that kind of thing. Yeah.
He kind of looks a little taken aback. Wouldn't put it past him.
Yes. Well, I think your mother would find his latest plans interesting. Now, I know you don't like politics, so I don't want to get you involved if you don't like it. But
I would rather stay out of it. I suppose I could give you a personal tour of the Winter Palace and show you our party preparations. And if my mother happened to be there, I would be quite the rude son not to introduce her to such a stunning and beautiful woman.
that would be a very kind offer. I would love to see your party preparations.
How
I'm
about
afraid, though, he would still have to come.
No, I wouldn't. Off game, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I could
Gotta-
swing just the two of us?
Right.
More
Or
Many of you have experience with magical enchantments or um, enchanted instruments.
Magnar, do you? You know, you're quite the craftsman, but do you deal with those sort of things?
Well, I know my way around magic, and um, are you talking about sort of making them, repairing them, identifying them? What's the interest here?
Setting up. There's a couple of old relics that gentleman who gave me this recent play, actually, the book that this play was in, sold to me. So
What
they
sort
were
of?
Rukian.
Oh, well then, um, I could certainly take a look. Yes, um, it's sort of older artifacts with a sort of interesting or magical bent to them. Yes, I can take a look. A Rukian, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can see what I could do.
The whole theme for this part, you see, and he kind of gets excited about this, is that it's an anniversary of Amaris ascending, and we wanted to honor Ao and the Gods War and everything that's happened. So I was looking into languages and spent a little bit of time digging through books, perusing with this uh, Mr. Winky at La Luciole, but wasn't able to find anything. He had a particular book that some nursery rhymes he said he'd give me, but I wasn't very interested in it. And I went around, but shortly after that, I met an interesting gentleman who actually spoke fluent Arukian, an ancient language, and he presented me with a book of various poems and plays. Rather well-dressed gentleman, he seemed nice enough, and encouraged me to have a particular performance made. It's
Could you describe this gentleman for us? I don't suppose he has
oh,
uncanny resemblance to my unfortunate friend.
you know, he does resemble him actually a little bit. Long jacket. It looks a little older. Nice
Yeah,
hat.
hat. Yes, yeah, we've met him.
Yeah, really
y-
nice man.
You know,
Did
if,
he
if
have
I'm
particularly strong pointers on how the performance should go? Some like really sort of in-depth sort of tips and notes.
There
Like
was a
just
particular crescendo in it. It's very deep, bassy music called Le Fantôme. It's about a spirit of ancient times returning to haunt and find his long lost love, uh, and return to the world.
I I know you just met us, right? We've just met. And you have no reason to take anything we say to heart. But I would highly recommend that whatever that man told you to do, you don't do it.
Why? He was a
That
gentleman.
did you hear about that dragon thing and shadow
Who
creatures that
hasn't
attacked?
heard about
Uh,
the
That's the guy
the
who
stray
did that.
dragon attack?
That's the guy who was involved.
Supposedly, it was a child of Tiamat, and that Tiamat is seeking vengeance against Ao.
Something like that. Yeah. But the man you're describing, he was largely responsible for that.
He doesn't seem like the type. I mean, he was kind, gentleman, well
Oh,
spoken.
oh yeah, yeah. So you least expect, but we were there. We saw him.
You saw this man, what?
Murdering a
Talk.
bunch of nobles using shadowy creatures and then summoning a dragon that destroyed a tower. That's yeah.
You can see he's trying to see just how, like, if you're messing with him,
Yeah.
like,
And then later on, we've encountered him when he was attacking a caravan, an elaborate ruse to try to capture him by Jill himself. And, then he destroyed, I think, what was it, a village or some other thing at one point.
I mean, if
Um,
I let's just say you're telling the truth.
well, did you notice how our friend also seems to speak the language very
I
fluently?
did. He had an
Yes.
unnatural grasp of it that I hadn't heard anyone other
Yes,
than
that's because our friend and your associate, believe it or not, are native speakers.
natives of Aru. That would make them ancient Ameresian royalty.
It would.
Then what? I'm confused. Then why
It's
would?
all very confusing.
And you can see he's getting very mixed messages and trying to wrap his around it. He is not. He is charming and he is clever, but he is not necessarily the smartest.
Well, even if he was fairly smart, this is a hard pill to swallow and a difficult thing to
And
rationalize.
he's like, for now, how about on Saturday I give you a tour of the Winter Palace? The two of us.
I think that would be lovely.
Where can I pick you up?
Um, I I give him the name of the house we're staying.
Chateau Breton.
Chateau Breton.
Oh, are you related to the Bretons?
Jill.
Ah, be careful. They disappeared.
There was a rather large spider in their basement. It's now dead.
Ah, that's a tragedy. And you see him like shiver at the thought. Um,
that was a particularly big spider. It must be
It
said.
was.
I-
It was quite. It was quite big. To be fair, it
it's
was quite
been a lovely evening, and I look forward to our date on Saturday.
I look forward to meeting with
Have a wonderful evening.
you.
Miss
Fresh snow. Restore fresh snow.
Lady Freshnel. And he bows and gives you a very courtly but appropriate kiss on the hand.
Yes, and I react with an appropriate curtsy, although I'm not wearing a dress, for a prince, I suppose. Of his signature.
And you can tell he's definitely a player and a charmer and very much into women, but is not necessarily an asshole. He's just a bit swarmy.
Yeah. I've dealt with those types before.
Yeah.
Restora is not particularly interested.
Yeah.
But he leaves and Hadrian eventually comes over like covered in little kisses, like little kiss marks from the different makeups and perfumes and stuff smeared all over him.
You got a little red. You got a little red right here.
I will
And
say
right here.
he would not actually allow that, right? Like he. Okay, first of all,
Have you ever tried to fight off screaming fangirls?
I was going to
yes,
say, allow
actually, I have. I'm being very serious about that. But Hadrian is again. Also, I don't have a 20 strength or 20 charisma, so when he's like, "Listen, you're all wonderful, but isn't the joy and the mystery a little bit?" And he's moving himself like to that, you know.
Eventually,
he's the villain.
you guys all meet up at a table.
Could I talk to Cadoris real quick?
Yeah.
I'll take a seat at the bar next to him.
He kind of looks at you and is like, "Aye, mate, this is a rough land that we're in.
Tell me about it.
Strange buildings and arch nemesises wash across the land. And villains and beasts and scourge of things rise up. And sorry. I hope I didn't bother you. Just practicing.
No, but you in Nova Show as well.
What was that?
Where was that place?
Evan, you're very, very quiet.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
speak up a little bit?
Where was that place? Were you in Versailles? For the attack? You too?
No. I'm a Strixhaven student. You looked like a fellow LARPer. Are you not part of the live action role playing guild?
No.
No. Oh, I'm
What is that?
dress up and pretend to go on quests and have adventures and tell stories with each other and interact and make it all up amongst each other.
You pretend to go on adventures.
Yeah, I mean the real ones, they're scary. I mean, I heard a dragon attacked towns and that there's wolves and bears that are the size of people and you can see him starting to get pale just talking about all of it.
Garth will kind of scratch his chest where he has that massive scar.
Barry is here, right?
Barry's here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like that kind of point towards Barry.
It's just like
It just makes you
Oh, don't worry, he's harmless.
That's gotta be the biggest familiar. That's a familiar, right?
Are you familiar to me?
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was a real bear for a moment.
Oh, he's real, yeah.
Of course he's real. He's a real adventurer.
Barry,
Yeah, I
come over
understand.
here.
And you said you weren't a LARPer.
Well,
Okay, he's like, okay, you gotta break character again for a second. Can you tell me, who did you get to do the scar? How did you do that?
Oh, how'd I get it?
No, yeah, I want to know your story on how you got it, but I mean, like, how do you
died.
put it on?
I died once. I did die once.
Oh, I've never been brought back from the dead. I think it's a dangerous place to go to the Shadowfell.
Look, I see that bow on your back.
Uh-huh. This is Arwen, bow of the Dryads. Any arrow fired from it never misses its target.
Let me see it.
He hands it to you.
Is it obviously a fake boat?
It just feels super light, like made from plywood and some plaster.
What the hell are you going to kill with this?
It will strike down any foe.
Nah, see, this is a real. Pull this out.
He takes it. You see him like pick it up and go to try and string it.
Not like that.
He's trying to pull on it. He's like, "This must be a Titan's bow."
I bought it at Gilmore's.
Gilmore's, you say?
Yeah.
Is he a purveyor of divine artifacts of the gods? Then
He sells magic.
he's like, "Okay, how the hell do you use this thing? I mean, is this solid metal here?"
Well, when I'm fighting, I just don't really think about it. I guess.
So you just kind of go with the flow and make it look right.
Well, it has to be right, otherwise I'll die.
But it's just pretend. Why would you?
There ain't nothing pretend about a fight.
Oh, you're one of those that gets really into it.
I had my calf bitten off once by a shark.
He kind of looks really confused. He says, okay, stop. Can you tell me, are you actually a LARPer, or are these real weapons and that's a real scar?
These are real weapons. This is a real scar.
Oh my god, you're a real adventurer?
Yes, I am.
That's amazing! You've really had like life and death battles with like dragons and deities and demigods and
Only one
traveled
dragon.
through dungeons and fought giant ooze faces and puddings.
I've only ever seen one dragon. But I did die once, and that was not fun. That's how I got the scar. And there's a real bear. He's my friend Barry. Travels with me. Rescued him when he was just a little cub.
Oh, hi Barry. He kind of tentatively like goes to pat Bear.
Scare him. He's harmless, believe me. Oh yeah, I'm a real adventurer. I thought you were as well. That's why I came over here.
I want to be. I don't think I ever will be.
Why not?
I just, you're always supposed to find a party, and it's all about the stories and everything. But
It's got to be
I only know a few little tricks with spells at the academy, and I.
Yeah. Tell you what. I'm staying at Chateau Patot. Yeah. Want to learn how to fire a real bow? Come see me sometime.
All right. If you're a real adventurer,
Mm-hmm.
you'll want to check out Madame de Pompadour's. That's where all the really cool travelers go.
Check it out. Thank you.
It was really nice meeting you.
Yeah. Garth.
Garth, Cadoris
Goodors. Pleasure.
shakes your hand. And you can feel he's a lot frailer than like the armor makes him look.
We've got some work to do.
Yeah.
Ryan, your backup character.
It's a backup character, yeah.
But before returning to the group, I will give an exaggerated bow. Say good night, fair ladies and gentlemen. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but may we meet again. And I will nonchalantly walk over to Westora and Magnar. So, well, I had fun, but I don't think I did anything good. How was your night?
Well, no, it was great. Yes, no. He and I both hated you, so it was great.
Oh,
I mean, I don't really hate you, but I was able to make fun of you.
Are you
we bonded over this.
sure? I have to work harder.
No.
Because hating me is like Yeah, that's it. That's a thing to unite nations right there. Actually,
There you go. Yeah, you see, so you did a very good job. In all honesty, it did work out well. Yes, he came over, um, and I pointed out that we were companions, and then we made fun of you a little bit, and we bonded. And I'm going to go have a tour of the palace.
good, good.
Over the
Don't.
weekend.
I'm assuming I don't need to say this, but like, don't fall for the wealth charms. He's a bitch.
Uh, I I'm a, I've been around rich, arrogant, noble men
Right,
before.
which is why I said I didn't think I needed to say it, but I just wanted to say it because, like, to put it on the record. But like, I know you. You're not, you know.
No, no, not.
Also, can I just say he didn't even deliver the verse about not giving you up,
Which
by
is
the way,
surprising, considering Godric taught it to me.
oh,
I don't know if that exact phrasing.
well, that's even worse then, because
Yes,
if Godric taught it to him and he delivered it without the iambic, that's
I was being a bit. That's not actually true. I was using it as a clever way of pointing out that he met Godric and taught him. I'm
yes.
pretty sure this speech was his own creation.
Well,
But-
good, because otherwise I would have to kill Godric on just principle for mangling language.
I quite enjoyed it, but then again, I didn't understand any of it. So
Yeah.
Neither did I. I was just
Wait, he met Godric though. Can you? Sorry.
yes,
No.
yeah, no, it's actually quite disturbing. Apparently, Godric was going to get him to do a performance at the birthday party, a very specific type of performance.
And did you tell him that that was a terrible fucking idea?
I did.
And
I
did
told
he
him.
listen to you?
He seemed confused by the conflicting, because as you know, Godric is actually a very nice, charming person when he wants to be, and
Yeah.
it's very clear that he has sort of charmed.
Do you know the one thing that my brother and I have always had in common, but also a difference, is that he wants to be way more often than I do. I can, but like I just fuck him. He's
I've seen you be very diplomatic and nice,
yeah. No, that's
and
what I'm saying.
then I've seen you the rest of the time.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I usually don't want to be because it's pointless and stupid and people suck. So, like, okay, I'm sorry if I showed up punctilious and by doing so made
That
us.
is exactly what we came here for.
Well, then I'm not sorry at all. Actually,
No,
I'll show
I
them
think you're
again.
fine. You should be fine. Sorry. No, I did.
And do you think for 1 second he'll listen? 'Cause it doesn't
Yeah, that's
seem
the
like.
part I don't.
Yeah, here's the thing. Listening to him talk, right? He aggrandizes the language, but doesn't understand the deeper concepts. And more importantly, and I say this with the utmost respect, he's a moronic, infantile asshole.
Well, you know,
I'm sorry, that didn't sound actually respectful, did it?
No, it did not.
I stand by it. I do stand by it.
You know what though? If you could learn to stomach him for a bit, one of the things I pointed out to him was that both you and Godric, the reason why your command of the language is so strong is because you are native speakers of it. I think perhaps if he got a little bit more tutoring from a native speaker who could perhaps use their own charm and influence, which they don't always choose to use, to convince him to perhaps change language of whatever play or presentation he
Right.
plans on doing.
And what charming individual do you?
yeah.
You
Me,
just finished telling me how you could choose to be charming when you want to be.
I know. I was joking.
Just finished.
I very much knew what you were saying. I was just joking. Okay, fine. If
Yes.
you can convince him that, well, if we, I would like. I will stomach tutoring him.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it works out because there's a lot of unknowns about how things will go when we go to see the palace. My hope is actually to get a chance to meet with the queen, and if we're able to meet with her and convince her of the story, perhaps we can nip
Right.
all this in the bud.
That sounds fantastic. I will say I do need to get back to the
To, to
the
the
fan club.
fangirls. Yeah.
You
I
join the club too.
I really hope your gnome friend isn't here.
I kind of hope she is actually. I don't know. I'm what can I say?
Those girls' sake?
No, here's the thing. I'm being very aloof with them, right? And it's not, and I would lean towards the sword and like say very seriously, look, it's not like I'm actually into Dragonic Mahani, she's a psychopath. But also, I'm not gonna be. I can convince her that they're that I'm not their squish muffin, as she would say. Which, by the way, ugh. She like, ugh.
I'm going to take a look around to see if there's not any gnome peering threateningly through a window with a little red panda
Making
nearby.
perception checks.
Everyone?
Anyone who's looking.
I am not, but I will say that he is trying to be aware at least.
26.
There is.
There is. Which window?
So the one by the front door, just
22.
watching front southwest wall on the patio outside, just staring in through the window, watching.
And I will
And
say,
you can see a little teddy bear being pulled to shreds in her hands.
And
as she
I-
watches angrily.
I will say, Frosty. Hate again. You said he was covered in kiss marks, and I said he's not actually because he doesn't. He is very much like nonchalantly toying with everybody there.
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure the homicidal gnome will totally understand.
I'm sure she will. She seems
Yes,
very
she is.
reasonable.
Speaking of,
Who?
As you look over,
Yeah.
she's gone.
I'm gonna go outside. Actually, at this point in time, so we have to meet with Quintilius.
You'd
Yes,
have to get and like go all the way across the bar to get outside. Like you guys are on the top north right side of the bar.
No, I
Up
but
on
I
the
will.
balcony.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like Hadrian is
Is everyone going with? Like you can't have the conversation with them and leave.
no. So I will say so sorry. What I'm trying to do is Hadrian is like, okay, so my role here is to go talk to the gnomes, right? Because we
Okay.
discussed that with Elam. I believe all of you should come up with a plan to make sure that Quintilius is.
Well, Elam said whoever there would contact you. Whoever the person he was referring to, he said they would get a hold of you when the time was right.
Yeah, but again, this is just what Hadrian is trying to do. Like,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you.
yeah, no, he did. I just,
Yeah. We will discuss if you wish to go speak to your lady friend.
if she's not my okay.
She's a lady and she's an associate.
She's a lady, and
friend.
she's my friend.
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay.
be safe.
I'll try to be. She's really scary, Goth. Like,
She's a little gnome. I mean,
yeah, I know that's what you think.
Have I ever told you of a mythical land in stories called Athos, in a place called Dark Sun, where the halflings are jungle-dwelling cannibals?
oh, they have.
It's a
No,
whole other world kind of thing. Yes. So
no,
I would not underestimate somebody just because they're a small gnome.
I'm not underestimating her.
I was talking to Garth. who made the
Oh,
comment.
okay. I will go outside though. I will.
All right, as you take your time and go outside, you don't see any gnomes. Just a lot of people walking around
Yeah.
back and forth.
I'll let the party do
What
whatever
are
they wanna do.
Magnar, Garth, and Westora? What are you guys doing?
Well, so the the thing with Quintilius is apparently just me, so I'm not sure what else we could do. Oh, that's right, the two of us. Right? Yeah. So that's good because, quite frankly, I don't want to be alone with him.
When is that?
I don't think he's creepy or anything. It's just awkward.
When is that happening?
Did he say? I think he said this next weekend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hmm.
next week.
that'd be the weekend before the party.
Yeah, how many days is that from now?
Let me check the calendar. Oh, let's see.
Anything in this city?
So it is currently the 6th of the first quarter moon, the 6th day of Midal, and the party is on the 15th. He was going to take you there on the 10th.
And what? I'm sorry. Say again. It's the 6th day. So in 4 days. 4 days. Well, I mean, yeah. I guess. Yeah. We wait. He knows the chateau we're at, so hopefully he'll show up.
I guess I've got an off day then.
Yeah. As long as he's not stupid enough to say something with Jill. Not particularly, no. But I imagine very few people do. Like, actually like Jill. I've been the nicest person to him in the whole group, and I don't like him at all.
Yeah, it's true.
Although Garth is usually relatively nice or polite to him.
But
We can't hear you.
But has gotten angry at him on more than one occasion.
he is an asshole.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Hmm. I will.
Yeah. I saw you speaking to your new friend over there, Garth.
Mhm.
That I believe that's the man that Quintilius was saying was a member of some sort of plague group.
Yeah, I thought he was like an adventurer, like us.
No, I think he's more like
Looked the part.
more like an actor of some sort, or
Yeah, they
somebody who
pretend to have
pretends to
adventures.
be. Yeah, I don't understand it. Something about oddly shaped little balls that they use. That's all. That's what
That's a bit
Quintilius
weird.
said. Sounds like a
Well,
very weird hobby. I don't know if I'd want to know people who do stuff like that.
he had a bow, and I'm like, oh, someone who knows how to do archery. We can talk about this. And his bow was like, I could pick it up with my pinky. I gave him
It's
mine, and he couldn't draw it.
it's obviously a prop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I invited him to come actually do some archery training sometime.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice of you too. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I'll tell him to come by on the 10th.
Yeah. Well, Magnar and I will be out, so it would be a good
Yeah.
opportunity for you. Yeah. No, you'll be there by yourself. Well, you'll have Hadrian and the other guy whose name escapes me for some reason. All of a sudden, who's the other member of the party?
Addis.
Yeah, Addis.
Addis.
The, he's so easy to overlook. You know,
We've got some space.
the enormous rock guy.
We've got
Yeah.
some space behind the chateau, right?
Yeah. There is a bit of a space. 'Cause I think there's a shed or something out there. If I
Yeah.
remember.
Let's set up a target.
A little bit of a yard and shed.
Yeah.
Sure.
As long as you don't accidentally shoot an arrow over the wall and kill somebody, which you wouldn't. But
I
he might.
wouldn't. He might. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys get to spend a.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sorry for
Okay, so
something.
I cannot adjust this map without revealing everything. So I'm gonna put Westora. I'm gonna put all of you guys on it so you can see it. And you will see some hints. And nothing spoilery.
Looking away.
But
Not looking.
I'm gonna turn off dynamic lighting. because you guys have about a week of downtime.
My eyes closed.
Yes.
I still see a full map.
I can't hide. I can't hide some of the stuff that's.
All right, I'll just go to the corner of the map with my camera.
There are some things that it's mostly just where people are going to be at during the party. It's not too much of a spoiler.
Oh, so that's where Godric's going to be.
But give you a chance to look over the wonderful map, and you can zoom out if you want to zoom out on the battle map so they can get the full picture. But assuming that you guys have about 5 days to kind of plan out what to look for, and then time to look at and come up with questions to ask, what we're going to do is I'm going to let you guys take a few moments to look around. And with Stora, what you'll get to do is you'll get to prompt me for scenes for you to talk to Quintilius. And Magnar, you can talk about some of the magical things that you found there. You can ask me questions about that. But this is a way for you guys to have the downtime of time to plan what you're going to look for, what you're going to ask, and do everything like that. But also get real time answers to questions to prepare for the party.
All right. Well, I mean, the first thing.
And then the other thing that we're going to do is during the party, you guys can flashback with your inspiration. You guys will each get a flashback point to this period of time to come back and have planned something.
The honey heist.
Yes. So I'm giving you full view of what the whole place looks like.
Got it. Where is Amelia?
Amelia Bedelia?
Whatever her name was. I want to know because I did promise it down.
Amelie Ularange.
Amelie Ularange. Okay, got it.
I see Garth's new friend. So it looks like he'll be at the party.
Well, obviously, Hadrian is interested in the big dragon person.
And what I will also say is just to give you guys a little bit of time to prep for it. If you want to ask me questions about some of the people at the party to cover what you would learn during the schmoozing phases, I'll answer those questions as well.
Who's the big dragon?
I think the schmoozing phase. I might be better at role playing my way through to pick up stuff.
Well, we'll still role play it, but they're like any extra tidbits. This is an information thing. We're still going to be playing through the party when it happens.
Right. This is just to give us a chance to cover our bases and make sure we get everything in that we want to get.
Exactly.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
So,
because theoretically, we could spend 4 sessions just schmoozing at the party.
Yeah. I'm sure the people at home would just love to watch that.
I will say, with how Hadrian schmoozes, it could get interesting. I will say so Frosty, the people
Or short.
Yes. This one,
I can't see your picks.
Lord Sengir Markov.
So Lord Sengir Markov, you would learn, is a diplomat from Wallachia, here to visit the Queen during her birthday. And one of the things that you guys would pick up, socializing and asking questions around the town and from Quintilius, is that Westora, you would realize that while this is publicly a birthday party, and so the invitations that are out are, oh, you're a prince, you're royalty, you're from all these other diplomatic nations that we have alliances with and are at peace with, so come to my birthday and help me celebrate. And it looks like this big grand celebration. You know enough politics, being a courtier, to know that this is also a political maneuver to get allies against the terrorists that attacked Versailles, and to not show weakness. And the Sengir, Baron Sengir Markov.
Does this also, would that imply then that Jill has not shared with them the identity of these terrorists.
Correct.
Yeah.
Countess Pauline and the two dragon people here and here.
So Leon and Spike. Leon is the large male dragonborn, and Spike's the younger dragonborn woman. Are the son and daughter of King Croc of Marcouche. The only, like, he has held the title of king for almost 30 years of Marcouche, and Marcouche is basically you challenge the big high king and you get to be king if you win. And supposedly he hasn't even been challenged for 10 years. Because he's just got that much of a reputation. And there's some Leon also brought his friend King of the Iron Main, and Leon likes to introduce himself as Duke of Leon.
I don't see any here, but I would be curious if anybody from Jaru or the Feywild would make an appearance.
Uh,
Maybe when I'm with Quintilius, I could ask him if he expects to see anybody there. Oh, is that there?
you would. There would be. I don't have the Fey tokens made up yet, but there would be other guests from Jaru there.
Actual Fey or Eladrin?
Eladrin and actual Fey.
I don't suppose.
There's members from Astria. There's members from the only country that is not presenting anyone here is Thumeria.
I see Cha Cha Chetney as well.
When you guys get to the party, you would spot Cha Cha Chetney and Isafu. Sort of sneaking act, pretending to be waiters and doing conspicuous stuff over on one side of the party.
So can I would ask a question, just based
Yeah.
on. So this is the party prep. Obviously, we all have people we're interested in here, like gnomes, barbarian diplomats, but there's still the ring, and we have an idea about Elam introducing us to that patron. So I just want to clarify that as much as we're looking at this,
If you guys still want to do that, you still can. I'm just giving you this opportunity now.
okay, yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then you guys can also discuss in downtime what you want. This is you guys' time. You can do what you want. I'm pulling this up because
that's all I wanted to ask. Right?
I didn't want to spend a whole hour doing a whole date with Star.
No, that
where she's mostly just trying to get information and everything like that. So I'm providing you guys
basically you're giving us the layout, and then we can I just wanted to make sure that we're not skipping to the party before, because like the ring was very
no. There's still a lot of stuff you guys have time to do and a lot of things that are going on. But you guys also have time to discuss, so you could decide on this day we're going to go steal the ring or try and do this. But this is a time for you guys to also decide and set up some goals and figure things out. And here's the stuff that you would learn about the party, and because that might be what you learn about where the party is at, and everything like that might be important to whatever plans you make.
I want to ask Quintilius if any representatives of the Fall Court are expected to be at the party.
He says, unfortunately, the fact that it is summer, they don't they sent the invitation out to the Summer King, but they don't expect him to arrive. He tends to be partying in Astria around this time of year.
All the representatives of Kush and Lakia in the city before, could we go talk to them, for example?
Want to talk to them?
Make an investigation check.
or fight with them. Like what? Hey, for Hadrian, it's pretty similar, unfortunately. 11.
You don't come across. If you happen to play through and run into them, you can, but you otherwise.
No. I would like to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to actually.
We're going to. I just mean, but like,
Yeah.
During my training sessions with Fedoris, I will try to get anything I can out.
so I'm going to propose this. You guys have some downtime. You can take that downtime to discuss and do whatever you want. I've set up some resources where if you'd like to ask me questions and figure some things out about stuff with the party, they are having it. Actually, it's all enchanted. They're weaving enchantments into these special mechanisms and chandeliers of the party so that it'll play phantom music that they pre-record through the whole place. They're going to be standing on the main dance floor when they do the performance and have all the instruments there. But during the actual party, it'll just be an open floor.
Is there? Sorry.
They're pretty much all typical instruments. The big thing is the enchanted chandeliers that use crystals and harmonics to sing. To harmonize and resonate the music.
Where do I recognize the place where we died in the dream?
Yes, at the tail end, down here at the bottom, the far southern side, as you look over the balcony while you're visiting Quintilius, the balcony overlooks that garden. You can see where if Magnar had fallen off, he would have ended up impaled on the small poles down in the garden. And you can see the glass, Kristen.
Second, Frosty. This is from Dragon Age Inquisition. This is the Palace of Battle Royale.
No,
Hey,
it is not.
Hey. All great artists steal.
Even has a door down the servants' quarters. Little courtyard area. Ah. Sorry.
Um, I will say so in the interim, Hadrian is trying to find out about diplomats from Marcouche, Astria, Wallachia, where they might be, if there's a way to talk to them. Yeah.
I'm gonna check out Madame de Pompadour's. Would I find anything out from that?
Make an investigation check. See if you can track down Madame de Pompadour's.
Just so you know, Evan, you're a bit soft again.
Is that better?
Yes.
Much.
Sick. All right. Investigation. I'm gonna use my inspiration on that.
Oh boy.
All right. Well,
I realized I may have been muted for a bit. Oh heck.
A 6.
a 6. So you do hear people do talk about Madame de Pompadour's, but every time you try and follow the directions to get there, you get lost. Unfortunately, you just are not good at navigating a city.
Fuck. Well, it needs a map. I'm really
Yeah.
good at reading maps.
And you're getting better with the city, but it's like there's 3 different Hyde streets, and Hyde Avenue, Street, Court, Drive,
And the intersect
right?
at one point.
Yeah, they intersect, and you can be on Hyde and Hyde. And you're just like, I don't know where I'm going.
Fuck.
At the corner of First and First, you're at the nexus of the universe. To do.
How much did that ring me?
Those are expensive.
A bow, I think, is like 5 gold.
Sick.
I when we're at some point, I don't know, Frosty, if I will be able to get an opportunity to speak with the Queen during the tour.
Unfortunately, she wouldn't be there, but your time with Quintilius, like, he would tell you that he would put in a good word for you, and see if he could arrange a meeting with her because he has a wonderful night with you. And he's a gentleman the whole evening.
Yeah, I did not think he was rude or anything.
He's definitely more interested in you than you are in him. Yeah, it happens. You know. Oops.
I'm
no
not
problem.
going to be. I'm not the type to be manipulating like his emotions or
Yeah.
anything like that. I'm just going to
Uh,
have a pleasant time and be very.
and it
nice.
is really nice and everything like that. And you do catch actually a glimpse. Make a perception check and an insight check.
Right. Okay. Perception check and then insight. So perception, I got a 9. I'll spend my inspiration on that. I have not done that yet this session. I got 7. All right, so whatever the
So
perception
make the
check is,
insight check.
insight a 9. Man, these are all just terrible rolls.
So you do catch one.
We're so bad.
Marquis Satine Melantor Prismari, Quintilius's older sister.
Prismari.
Yes. You do meet her, and she's a bit stuck up. You know, she likes to. She's mostly just giving you a bunch of shit and just joshing you, moving around. She's always seeming to be up to something, trying to help the party. And Quintilius half the time has to excuse himself to yell at her and get her out of the area. But you can't get a read on her. She just seems drunk half the time.
And it's not even the party yet.
Yeah. But we'll cut back to you guys at the chateau.
Okay.
And have time to discuss and chat the stuff that you've learned. It's a good character moment. We don't have a lot of time left, so I want you guys to try to use this to plan out and strategize what you think you're going to do. You don't know when whoever it is that Elam said he would get you in contact with. That seems to be there seems to be a patron of a patron, kind of a lot of fingers going on that are pulling at the gnome's strings. But whoever the mastermind is that Elam has the ear of, you don't know when they are going to show up.
Right.
Or how. And you don't think you can get that information out of Elam. Or even if you did, that you could trust it.
Yeah, he would lie. So So my 2 cents is this. I would like to try and find where at least the Marcusians and maybe the Druians are staying. I know the Marcusians value directness.
Well, you already tried.
No, but
this is a time for you guys to discuss.
That's what I'm. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking to everyone.
Okay, I thought you were speaking to me. Sorry.
No. I'm trying to have Hadrian lay out what his 11-day agenda would be. Find where they're staying. Right. I couldn't find out today. I tried. Nobody knew, but I could try again. Other than that, Westora is clearly the best person here to actually ingratiate herself with the court.
Are we going to tell them there's an attack coming?
If we can get the ear of the Queen, but I don't know if I trust anybody else in the court.
I agree with that.
I think it's very important that we try to meet with the queen as quickly as we can. Hopefully, Quintilius can arrange
Yeah.
that before the party, but I
But-
have my doubts.
So do I. But other than that, though, all I'll say, I will continue to try to just put myself out in places where I'm visible to get the gnome's attention. See if we can speed that along a bit.
I mean, I don't know. So far, one gnome seems to be constantly paying you attention.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll glance towards the window. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I'm assuming we want to you want to speak to these other people from these other countries to try to coordinate with them or to let them know what's going to happen.
Or
Yes.
do you want to fight somebody?
No. I mean, yes, I do, but not for that reason. So
Your plan is to try to find allies or potential allies.
correct.
Yeah. I have no objection to that. I think that's a good idea. I think our focus should be once we get there. There are two things that we need to try to accomplish at the party so far. The ring, we'll see what we can accomplish with the ring between now and the party. But for the party itself, um, whatever Quintilius's performance is supposed to be that Godric told him, that cannot be allowed to happen,
No,
if at all
granted.
possible.
It's
Because
so bad. Never mind. Sorry, I just.
I suspect no matter how bad, if he gets the right words in the right order,
It'll be bad. Yeah. No, I
it
know.
will have the right effect.
the other thing, and this might be part of that same goal, is to try to get an audience with the queen as soon as possible to warn her about Godric. And it's very clear from their talk of terrorists that they don't that the nobility in this court have been misled or lied to by Jill,
Yeah.
and do not know the involvement of Godric, which is an incredibly dangerous thing.
I've got another idea.
Yeah.
Another goal, I should say.
Mhm.
Try to find a way to avoid dying, like in the vision.
Yes.
Maybe make sure the fight doesn't go out there.
That I think, trying to do that, although that might be a challenge depending on how things go.
Right.
I would like to avoid a fight occurring at all. And I
Right.
Why
think,
avoid it? It's inevitable.
well, the time and place might change, like the location, by changing the various factors of how the fight occurs, when or where, or something
You
like
can
that. Like
avoid
Tagar saying,
dying,
not happening in
yeah.
the courtyard, you potentially change the variables that cause the outcome in which we all die.
Do you want a chance to be creative?
Yes.
See, I don't think we're necessarily going to persuade the prince not to do his grand performance. He's kind of set on it, and he's got the Dead Language Society there, and he's got, the whole thing going on.
think
So,
I
like,
see where
telling
you're
him not
going.
to do it's not going to work.
But if his villain showed up?
Well, maybe, but I'm thinking if you gave him an alternate script that was just as flowery and just as dramatic, and maybe had a bit of vanquishing and somebody to foil across and make himself particularly good, then he still gets to do the thing that he wants to do and make it all about the Dead Language
What if I
Society.
gave him a script that let Quintilius? I could come in as and it could all be sort of a haha. That was the terrorist. Like,
Yes, exactly. Make it on topic. Make it extremely, all of the flowery stuff.
I could wear the hat. I as much as I hate my brother, I've always loved that. I will say, like,
So you turn up. In fact, yes, you do it as a sort of a send off of Godric,
Eh.
and he still gets to do what he wants to do. And
Yeah. Yeah, and I sent off of Godric. I don't know if this is what you mean, but this is also how we could tell everyone the
Right.
truth.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
tell it in story,
Yeah,
right in
yeah,
front of them.
yeah. I think that's a really good idea.
It'll be the epic.
You do the
epic
battle of
of the
Versailles.
The epic of the Ishgardian Revenant.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I can see that. Oh,
Oh, I like that idea a lot.
we prefer so the play's the thing wherein we'll catch the conscience of the queen.
Well, if we haven't had a chance to speak to her by then, but as I say,
Sorry, that was a Hamlet quote.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I got it. I got it. Yeah, that's the
Magnar doesn't
that's
get anything.
with I was also thinking of another thing, and it has now escaped me.
Actually, we'll say that your meeting with Quintilius is just the next day. That way, this can all be the next week. Because it was during the weekend, so you guys will still have 9 days
the whole
before
9 days. Yeah,
the
that
whole
sounds
9
good.
days before.
Could we have
sorry,
had the
Kurt,
chance to come
go-
up with the
go
idea
ahead.
of having Quintilius do an alternate play in time to present at during the meeting with Quintilius?
Not during
the meeting, but we could have the time. I feel like that's something to talk to him about next.
I'm assuming. No, that brings up a question. Am I able to get back in touch with Quintilius if I need to? Does he leave me an invitation to like stop by?
He does
visit
give you an
him or something?
invitation to come visit him.
Excellent.
So basically, what we have to do is give him.
He also says that he'll set a seat aside for you at his performances.
Well, but
sure.
That's terrible.
I'm
Sure.
Yeah. I'm willing to make that sacrifice, Adrian, to save our lives.
No, I know. I'm just. Have you all seen Hot Fuzz
Garth,
when they
what
go
were you
see
saying?
Romeo and Juliet?
I'm just gonna
Yes.
Garth?
I'm just gonna spend the next 9 days.
Well, right now we're paying up just with day one.
Just day one.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck, I don't know. What to do.
And Garth, are you bringing on the other stuff you've discovered up to the others,
What have I discovered?
or that you were, or what you have failed to discover?
Yeah. There's a place coming down to Pompadour's. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. It's where adventurers go, I guess. Might be some people there that we
Real
could.
adventurers or fair ones?
Real ones, I think. But we could find some people there who might be important. Just a thought.
Not a bad thought at all.
I do
I tried
feel
to find it.
woefully under-equipped for, mind you, a little lower on the old coin. You might have to do a bit more of that, whatever it was that you got you earned some gold for.
Oh, asking for a fucking tailor.
And that might get us some more. But yeah, no, we could. I know cities aren't your natural environment, so maybe we could help you. I mean, they're not mine either.
Yeah.
Maybe if Westora could
If we
could
could
help us
find a
find
map,
things.
if we could find a map of the city, I think I could get around pretty easily.
Well,
I'm
that
sure
could be
they might have a city like this. might
Little
have, like,
tourist maps.
tourist
Yeah,
office. Yeah.
some sort of map. I can read maps.
I have Maurice.
T-shirt.
I went to Amaris and all I got was this lousy tunic.
But God, you have been saying you needed new clothes, so you
Full tourist.
All right. Well, with that, I do think we are going to call it tonight. As you guys are entering the next chapter of the story, you guys are all going to get a level up.
Ooh.
Are we gonna roll for hit points here?
Yeah, let's roll for hit dice while we're here.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Back over to the battle map.
I'll roll real quick.
Did you just say Thaco to the battle map or back over to the battle
I said
map?
back over, but hear what you want to hear.
I don't have any trauma with AD&D.
Oh, Adrian, why are you so hit pointy?
Thaco does he make it so complicated? All right.
39.
Where am I going? What am I doing?
I believe warlocks are 8s. I'm just checking.
What is this?
That's 9 plus
Yeah,
3, so that's an additional. So my HP is now 62.
I get extra attack.
So do I.
Does that mean Barry gets extra attack? Did we do
See,
that?
what do I
Is
get?
that a rule?
I get 1!
I believe.
Aha! I got max.
Did we say when I got extra attack, Barry would get extra attack?
A total of
believe so.
12. Nice. Nice.
How'd you get 12?
Well, I've got a con bonus of 4 and a D8. I rolled an 8 on
yes,
my
the con
D8.
bonus. I got 1.
Yeah.
I have a constitution bonus of 0, so there we go.
Magnar, you're a dwarf. Why?
My hit points go from 23 to 24.
So that puts us at level
No,
5.
it's take the
If you roll less than the average, you take the average.
Oh, is that 4?
It's half plus 1.
So Magnar, you cannot get less than 5, basically.
second level spells.
5.
Let's go. That's huge.
Ooh, more
Ooh.
spell slots.
Yeah, that's huge.
Awesome.
My slot level just went up to 3.
Guys, I got an extra attack. Can I just say my tactics in combat are going to be so diversified now. Rather than hit something once, I will hit it twice.
Surely not.
But I'll do it really hard.
You'll try to hit twice, just to be clear.
I will.
Do I get my?
Can you
However,
imagine how useless that would be for me?
Yes, and I want to see it.
Who's
thank
going
you
to the vote?
thank you everyone for watching us tonight and joining us again. There's a link in the chat if you want to scroll up, or let me see if I can post it again. If you are interested in joining an Andromeda adventure, based on / inspired by, it's its own unique world and setting, but it is the setting is heavily inspired by Elden Ring and Dark Souls and the Soulsborne style of game. As you were saying,
It's going to be great. And I was also going to say, if anybody else is interested in a Andromeda game in Endara, but in a different area, I am still running a Nuldaw campaign that Evan is a part of, and so is Kovacs. And we still need one more person. If you want to be involved in a Mad Max meets Fallout meets high fantasy meets The Walking Dead setting, we are all here for that. So
it's going to be great. Again, we are at 66 followers. Let's see if we can get it up to 100. So please, everybody, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your goldfish.
tell your enemies. If you don't like us, tell your enemies.
Tell your enemies. Make them watch us.
And if you
really-
don't have a goldfish, you can make a mechanical one.
Yeah. Yeah. Be Magna.
But thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Night,